The Škoda Elroq is Škoda's new electric car. Think the Enyaq, but a little bit smaller. It's fully electric, but it's also fully Škoda, and I'm going to explain why. I think the design of the Elroq looks really, really good. It's futuristic, but not too futuristic. It sort of blends into traffic. It has that non-electric car quality of not standing out like a sore thumb. Looking a little bit closer though, you've got some vents down there for efficiency, as well as also having separate daytime running lights and normal lights up here, which I think looks quite good. On top of that, the whole front end is just really aggressive looking. It's got a nice sporty feel to it. The side of the car I think looks as good as the front. It's got a nice set portions. Wheel-wise though, you get between 19 and 21 inch alloys. These are actually, surprisingly, the smaller ones, the 19s. And I have just looked at this off camera and gone, those look like they really fit the car. Are they the bigger ones? No, they're the normal ones. I think that is a very good feature. Walking around the back though, it's got more of a very, I'd say, sporty back end. This isn't a sport line. We haven't got a sport line yet, but it looks like the front quite aggressive. I think this extra little spoiler bit at the top makes a nice little difference. So yes, that electric feel that everybody talks about, it's there, but there's also a tasty amount of power and responsiveness. It generally drives really nice though. It's got a couple of different driving modes to help that out. It's got a sport mode, an eco mode if you want to be, going for the miles, and also an individual mode so you can sort of tailor it to your liking. But on top of that, it's also a rear-wheel drive. All of the ones in the UK are a rear-wheel drive. So it means all of that power straight to the back wheels. So the power outputs, it goes from a 168 brake horsepower from the smaller battery. The medium battery gets 201, and the bigger battery gets 282 horsepower. And the Elroq currently comes in 4 different trim levels. The SE, with the smaller battery, that goes up to the SEL, the Edition, and of course a lovely Sportline option for sportier styling. The inside of the Elroq is a really nice place to be. It's got comfy seats, it's got lots of room, and on top of that it's got the new Škoda design language. So you've got the Škoda across the wheel here instead of the traditional logo that they've always had, and there's a few other things that help remind you it's a Škoda, like twisty dials on the wheel and lots of storage. So you've got adjustable cup holders, you've got phone charging, you've even got a big little bit in the middle here, and very nicely proportioned screen. So you can click this and it's nice and fast and responsive. You can turn your aircon on, do all of that through there, but there's obviously shortcut buttons down here. On top of this, there's also helpful Simply Clever Škoda storage, where you can take out this out of your little center bit here, and there's even an extra little bin section at the bottom so you don't have loads of rubbish in your car. Škoda's Simply Clever philosophy encompasses practical, easy to use features designed to enhance everyday driving and make car ownership simple. There's not just room for the driver though, there's room in the rest of the car. It's massively spacious. I'm very tall, 6'2". Lots of room there, lots of room there. As well as having lots of room, there's lots of options for how you can have your interior. Škoda offer them as a studio design, a loft design, a lodge design, a suite design, or of course a sportline design where it's a little bit sportier. This one is the loft design, and it's got this nice sort of fabric in the middle, but this more leather type material on the outside. And another little electric car thing, you've got no drivetrain running through the middle, have you? So it's a completely flat floor in the back, so you can nice and easily slide across. And on top of that, you can get electric seats in some of these. It might sound a little bit dull, but I actually really am interested in this boot, because Škoda, well, they've done a Škoda thing. So the Škoda-y type things that Škoda have done is give you an almost unnecessary amount of storage, which I like. You can keep all your coats on this handy little flexible shelf here, which then extends out to some hooks here, so it effectively seals off half of the boot. And it's got one of those Velcro adjuster things where you can pop it on there to wedge something in the boot so it doesn't roll about while you're driving and scratch the plastics. If I remove this off of here, you can see where you can store it, because it's got a place up there, it's got a place down there, and it's even got stuff here with little bits of elastic to hold things in. Something that's also very interesting, with it being an electric car, Škoda have really thought about what they're doing. You've got a place to keep your electric charging cable here. There's a little bit of room under the boot floor as well, but if you've got stuff in your boot, you wouldn't want to be lifting it out the way when you've got a nice little handy bit up here where your cable lives. On top of that, there's also the option to shift this whole parcel shelf down here onto these little ledges, so you've got a shelf in the middle of your boot. So it's effectively like having two separate compartments. So it's an electric car, let's talk about electric charging. The battery sizes range from a 52 kilowatt hour all the way up to a 77 kilowatt hour, and all the different batteries can be charged from 10 to 80% by an ultra rapid fast charger in under 30 minutes. So if you'd like to find out more about the Škoda Elroq, then you can come down to any of our Škoda sites across the northeast, or of course you can go on our website, pullmangroup.co.uk. And if you want to see any more content like this, then you can follow all of our other socials.
Pullman, delivering a fantastic customer experience.